Started. Please feel free to put a note in the chat. I'll try to keep an eye on that, but I'm just going to give you a quick dive into this topic of make time. My name is Julie Harris, and I am a habit coach. I have been an accountability coach for a number of years, and I'm really excited about sharing a framework that literally has changed my life. And I know that sounds too crazy to believe, but yes, something that really has changed everything for me and has changed so much for my clients. All right, but let me back up. 20 to 30 years ago, and I'm not exaggerating, yes, I'm that old. 20 to 30 years ago, I was a crazed single mother living in Paris with a crazy, crazy, crazy life. As you can imagine, I was working more than one job to be able to pay for that apartment and take care of my child. And that meant that I would get up at 5 in the morning and try to write. And then at 5:30, 5:45, I would be doing another project. And from 6 to 7, I'd do another project. Then I would get my daughter up and we would do everything we needed to do for me to take her to school. And then after that, what would we do? I'd work a full day, as many of you know what that's like, then come back and try to cook and do all the things that one needs to do to take care of a home, fall into bed, and up it started all over again. So my problem was I had no time, but I knew about GTD. I knew about the Franklin planners. I was a great organizer, a great planner. Every minute was calculated for it, but still I didn't have enough time. And when I say that, I didn't have enough time to do the things that really mattered to me. So fast forward to 2018. What happened in 2018? Well, a book came out called Make Time by Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky. And I was lucky enough to be able to see a proof of it and provide some editing on it. And I thought, wow, this is something. The reason this is something is because it's so simple. And it's so forgiving. And it's so friendly. So I met with Jake, and Jake and I became good friends. And I was very, very lucky because I actually got to coach Jake on writing, which was super fun. And we decided to bring Make Time to my Coach Me clients. And I'm the only certified person in this field to be able to teach Make Time. I do have other colleagues who do other parts of Make Time. And I have to say, I've been using it with my clients since 2018, and it's brilliant. Ian is here. I'm so glad Ian's here. Ian, you are such a wonderful friend and colleague in this whole process of Make Time, and maybe you'll say something about it in a minute. I just want to tell everybody what the 4 steps of Make Time are, okay? So the first, very simple, is choose a highlight, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. The second is laser in. I'll tell you about that in a minute. The third is energize, right? And the fourth is reflect. All right, every day, these 4 things. The first thing is the highlight. What is the highlight? All right, if you're anything like me 20 to 30 years ago, I had a to-do list like this. And I thought that was prioritization. Actually, what I've come to learn is prioritization is 1 or 2, maximum 3 things you're going to do in a day. All the rest, if you're doing it more than that, you're not prioritizing. So what is the highlight? The highlight is that thing that is going to make you so happy you did it, right? Either it's going to bring you so much joy, or it's going to bring you so much satisfaction, or it's going to solve an urgent problem, okay? Some days my highlight is doing taxes. That does not bring me joy, but it makes my life so much easier once it's done, and I feel so much better. A highlight will normally take anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes. That is the sweet spot for focus. That, if you spend 60 to 90 minutes on something, it could be another one of my favorite highlights is cooking with my son on a Sunday. You spend 60 to 90 minutes doing it, you are going to feel so good. All right, so you've got a highlight. It's based on satisfaction, joy, or urgency. Schedule it. Put it in the calendar. Figure out, okay, when am I going to do it? And one of the pro tips, I do this with my colleagues and I do this with my family. We talk about what's going to be your highlight for today. And we talk about when would you like to do it so that we can make sure that all of us are able to do that focus work or that project or that painting or that walk in nature, right? So you don't have to do that, but I'm saying that you're going to get a lot out of it if all of you are talking about your highlight. So you schedule it. And then the next thing is to clear the decks, laser in. So how are you going to create time to really focus? In the book, there are 88 tactics, by the way, and it's a recipe book, honestly. It's different experiments that you can do. In the book, there are a million laser tactics, and one of them, for example, is to treat email at specific times of day instead of all day long. Or another one is to turn off all of your notifications on your phone or go into air flight, I can't remember the term, just turn off your phone or put your phone in a drawer or charge it in another room during the 60 to 90 minutes that you're playing with your child or you are cooking dinner or you are doing that highlight, okay? So there are lots of different ways to really clear the decks. The third thing is to energize. Take care of your body so that you can take care of your mind. Take care of your mind so you can take care of your body. Easy to say, hard to do. This book makes it actually pretty easy when you think about it. So what is one thing you could do? You could, for example, go for a walk every day. When I started exercising every day, again, it changed everything. Now, I'm no hero. I'm not running any marathons. I am not climbing any mountains, but I'm out there every day doing something. And again, that's something that I got from Jake when I met him in London. We went for a walk around London for an hour at 7 in the morning. It was fabulous. I couldn't believe it. So exercise every day, for example, or eat food that is really good for you, or optimize your caffeine. Again, be gentle. This is not rocket science, and you don't have to do everything. Just one thing in the Energize section. And finally, reflect. Reflect is at the end of your day. Build the habit of just looking back. What went well? What did I love? What do I want to do more of? How energized was I? How focused was I? What do I want to change for tomorrow? Because tomorrow, you get to start over. You get to choose another highlight. Do something else. Do something that you didn't do. Or maybe just do the same thing again and build on it and get even deeper into this thing that you love. So that's it. The 4 steps: highlight, laser, energize, and reflect. Sounds pretty simple, right? It's first and foremost, forgiving. Again, we're not trying to create a perfect person in a perfect world with a new app, with a new Excel file that tracks all of your habits. We're trying to get you to just focus on one thing every day and make sure that one thing is something that either you love, is urgent, or is just going to bring you so much satisfaction. So that's what I have for you, and I would love to answer any questions. If you'd like to put them into the chat. I as an old lady, I'm going to have to put my glasses on. Ian here says he definitely recommends the book and the philosophy. Does anyone else have maybe a question about how this works, or a concern, or a thought, or, maybe you don't believe me? And I'd be happy to answer any of your questions on how this works and how to make it better. Or I can also give you a few more tips and tricks from Make Time. Great. Is Energize, Rose, what a good question. Is Energize related to the highlight? Energize is related to the highlight in as much as the extent to which you take care of your body, the more energized you will feel, okay? So for example, I might have a highlight that is about I need to write a blog post and I don't have any ideas, or I don't have any good ideas. So the energized tactic that I might use is go out into nature, walk in nature for an hour without headphones. That's another one of the tactics, is to take out the headphones, leave them at home, and just be in nature in silence, right? And that will feed the creativity I need for the highlight. And I can schedule it before, or I can schedule it after if I really need to, knowing that any kind of exercise you do is going to create the endorphins and the dopamine that will last in your body for 24 hours. You're going to get the greatest bang for your buck in the 2 to 3 hours after you exercise in terms of creativity and productivity and brain cells firing. And it's not cells firing, it's something else, and Ian can correct me. Right, so there can be a connection between energize and highlight, and often there is. All right, is there another question? Tips and tricks around energizing. Okay, oh good. So, okay, I'm gonna open this up for you on the energizing, and I'm gonna hold it up for you as well, so maybe that you can see it. There are things like go on the dark chocolate plan in terms of food. There is wake up before you start drinking coffee. There is eat like a hunter-gatherer, stay hungry, or inconvenience yourself. So park far away from where you need to be so that you actually have to walk or take the stairs to get somewhere. Simple stuff, right? Not rocket science, but the beauty of it is in just starting to do it every day, right? Does that answer your question, or would you like some more on the energizing? Because I'm happy to dig into more into energizing. Okay. All right. I can tell you that I'm a dark chocolate fan. Ever since I learned that I could have a piece of dark chocolate for dessert, that's what I have. So that's one of the top tips. Maybe Ian, would you like to share in the chat, is there a tactic in Make Time that you really love? All right, and maybe another energize for you. Keep it moving, eat real food, go off the grid. How many of you take real breaks? And you can maybe say something in, say something in the chat. Just say a thumbs up or I do. So a real break is something that we call a brain break, which is typically you need to get outside, sunshine, no screens, no email, and for at least 5 minutes every day. And I would say a real break every 50 minutes. How many of you are able to do that in the way that you've constructed your lives? Yay, Karen does. Excellent. Anybody else? I do occasionally, says Michael, but it's not a habit. Okay. Me? Karine does it. Excellent. All right. And it's not a habit because we don't think to do it. So one of the tips, of course, is to set a timer at 50 minutes, and just at the 50-minute, you go outside if you possibly can. You know, smokers have had a pretty bad rap, right? But they did have something right, and they do have something right. They'd get up regularly and go outside to smoke. I think that we need to get into the habit, and I think Jake and John will certainly support me on that getting up, getting out every 50 minutes, standing up, moving around is just going to change the way that you think and give you better ideas. Another tip that I want to share with you today, because you're here and you're being so patient, if you have not read The Extended Mind by Annie Murphy-Paul, I think you'd be very interested. It's similar to Make Time, in as much as she talks about how we can use our bodies to extend the mind. So by taking this body out into nature, you're going to help the mind work so much better, and you will be at peace. I mean, part of the craziness of this life is that we're doing so many things at the same time. So if I could give you just one tip, stop. Do one thing at a time. And believe it or not, you're going to make time. You're losing time by doing so many things all at the same time. All right. Rose takes a break over lunchtime to sit and watch people. I love it. How many of you don't do anything? Just sit. You think I'm crazy, right? How many of you allow yourselves to get bored or just be stuck? Love doing nothing. I love doing nothing too, and it's a new habit I've developed and I make time for. Sounds crazy, right? It actually gives me more time. The name of the book I mentioned before is The Extended Mind. And it's Annie Murphy Paul. So The Extended Mind. The book has just come out and it is fabulous because it also talks not just about the body extending the mind, but how we work in teams and when we're synchronized, what that creates with our minds. It also talks about how we learn and how we can learn better by moving, by gesturing. Okay, so The Extended Mind, I think you might like it. Is there any other question that you might have for me? Or a comment or a thought or pushback? Great. Well, I am all about making time. And so if I can save you time, I might let you go early. Let's see. I don't reflect at the end of the day. How about ideas here? Okay. Well, I'm not saying you have to buy the book. There is a Make Time app, which is free. Okay. It's called Make Time. And in the app, there is a little worksheet that appears in the app, or you can buy it in the book, get it in the book, where you just quickly write down how well you did. And it's not a long journaling process, right? So gratitude, how did you do on laser? How did you do on energizing? I have to say the app as well has a timer in it. So you could do your 60 to 90 minutes. And then when your 60 to 90 minutes are over, it's clear and you can get up and do other things. Great. Excellent. Any other questions or concerns or thoughts? Thank you to all of you. And if you want to stick around, you're welcome to, and I will keep answering questions. Otherwise, I just wanted to say I'm in the business of making time for you. So if you need to hop off and go and do something else, please do that. Make time for the things that matter to you. Thank you, everybody. You guys are fabulous. Thank you so much. And I see that our people are leaving, which is wonderful. Go make time for yourselves. Life is too short to be doing other stuff. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to just type Make Time blog in the chat for anybody. Oh, that's not well done. Make Time blog for anyone who wants to know more. There you go. And again, have a great day. Take care of yourselves and just go and allow yourselves to do what really matters. Life is too short to do anything else.